Chair. I'd like to make an amendment on that. I think we need to listen to the business community as well, and I think by having this amendment to have a choice, either a monument or a pylon sign, that should be the business choice, what they would prefer to put up depending on the circumstance of their property and so on. But I think there should be a choice, even though I've heard they can come back before the zone board of appeals, that costs money, that takes time. But I think businesses should have a choice, so I'll make that amendment to have a choice, monument style or pylon.
Made and seconded. On the amendment, Councilmember Lieutenant Doug Farmer.
This, fellow members of the council, this was discussed and addressed at J&A, this exact amendment. And it was basically pointed out that if you were to pass this, you essentially gut the entire ordinance. It's a wonderful thing, choice, but the whole idea here is to minimize the signage, get it all down to a, as I said, in the nuclear arms race. The pole just reloads the missiles in the silos, and that's all this does. And would essentially gut the whole thing. And you could have the honor of passing a sign ordinance that then becomes almost meaningless. So I hope we'll do as J&A did when this amendment was proposed there and turned it down.
Next is the Councilmember of the 8th District, Bob Sequist.
Thank you. If I could draw everybody's attention to the photos that Mr. Fuchsels handed out. And I think it is most people's, when they hear the word monument, they think of what he illustrates as A there. And in fact, if you go to C, the one for the Mayo Clinic Health System, that is, outside of the size, is compliant. But that isn't a pole, that is decorative, a decorative support. Same thing if you're familiar with the sign at the Marine Credit Union that has an EMU in it, and that is also considered to be a monument type sign. So I think if it's Councilmember Richmond's intention to get us off the ground from A, it is possible. You see them also attractive signs at many auto dealers. The auto corporations supply type signage that would be in compliance. It's kind of high, it's a lot of it, but not General Motors, I understand, is coming down for one. We're not tied to, we're getting away from those darn pipe and I-beam stick in the ground. If we have attractive cladding on it, stuff like this one for Mayo Clinic, it is compliant. It's an unnecessary, in my opinion, amendment.
Okay, on the amendment, Councilmember Richmond.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Sequist, for the Rudy's root beer stand sign, if that happened to go down in a storm, that's a pylon sign. So he would definitely have to put up the monument style sign.
Well, I'd refer this to Mr. Kirch, who is the all-knowing wizard here. But I believe Rudy's, should it go down in a storm, would, well, of course, in the ordinance, you can replace signs that are destroyed by act of God, but I believe that would be essentially a compliant sign, would it not, Larry?
Yeah, so again, a variance might be an opportunity there where you go back and you say, it depends on what gets destroyed, but they would have the option of putting in a monument sign, a sign like has been described as Mayo or the Marine Credit Union, and they may decide to put a pylon sign up. So if it's destroyed, again, this is in chapter 20.25, so there was in this letter some question about whether a structure would have to be replaced. I'm not sure that would. There was a state statute that was amended to allow people to rebuild. So whether that applies here or not, I'd have to do a little more research on that.
Okay, we are on the the Councilmember Richmond's amendment, which is the amendment of choice. If you support Councilmember Richmond's amendment, you vote aye. If you do not, vote no. Okay, we have 4 yeses and 12 noes. Could the deputy city clerk read the yeses?
The yes votes are 1, 2, 3, and 7.
Okay, so that amendment fails. Councilmember Richmond, do you have anything further? Okay, next is the 11th District, President Cotter.
Thank you. I move the question.
Okay, I have no further speakers. This is on the main motion. The final vote. If you support this, you vote yes. If you do not, vote no. One more councilmember needs to vote. Okay, there we go. So it passes by a vote of 13 up to 4, and I have 3 no votes, District 1, District 2, District 3, and District 7. So the recommendation for Thursday night is for approval. Okay, I have one more public hearing. I have number 48. Could you please take your conversation out the hallway so we can continue? Number 48, I have a resolution amending Council Rule 5, Council Rule 14 regarding standing committees of the Common Council. It was approved as amended, but also delete the committee of the whole. I need a motion for a public hearing. All in favor say aye. Okay, wishing to speak in opposition, Jason Dunbar, 41 North 15th. You have 3 minutes.
Managed to destroy a bunch of businesses and jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd just like to start off by saying that I am glad that I get the opportunity to speak before all 17 of you. I think that's important. Tonight's a long night, we know that, it's 10 o'clock, and had no interest in the other items here. However, this is the process, this is how it works, and I